Hey, Hightower. I was just going to tell you, I got home. I took a top off this thing just to see what was going on there. I had a piece of looks like a piece of a fan blade. That's what was rattling around in there. So I don't know what it came off of because all your fan blades here look fine. So maybe it looks like some of them have been changed out. So maybe they maybe it was off an old fan or something. The blade broke off or whatever, but I don't think that's a big deal. But what I was really more concerned about, is let's see. Let me get this thing under the light a little better. Maybe you can see it a little better. See, there's three resistors right here. I'll get a little screwdriver or something. You got this one right here. That one's been really, really bad hot and smoked, and that one right there you can see as well, and then this one over here. And those are combiners. And what they do is they take the output from your finals and they combine it all together, and then it goes out through your relay to your antenna there. That usually means something's out of balance, like you got a bad final. Maybe more than one, and I'll show you here in a minute what I'm talking about. But also, even on the splitter here that comes out of the driver before it goes into the finals, that one right there is burnt. These are 100 ohms. That one right there is burnt, and then this one right here is burnt. Those are pretty crispy, so they'll definitely have to be replaced. All that's not really that big a deal. Those things aren't that expensive. But what I do see concerns me more is the 10 ohms on the base of the finals, which is on the input side. Usually, if you see one of these things burned, see that one right there that comes right off the base of the final going to ground. That almost always means a bad final. So you got one right there. So I'd say probably more than likely this final is bad right here, just because the 10 ohm is burnt to ground. And then you got one more over here, right there. If you can see that, I've got enough light in there. Maybe I have to get a little more in there. But anyway, yeah, there we go. Get my arm out of the way. That one is burnt too. So I'm thinking just right off the bat, you've probably got two bad finals. Now this is not a 2x6. I don't believe, unless these are inline drivers. Let me look at the circuitry here in a minute, and I'll send another. Oh, you know what? Yeah, it is too. These two 2290s right here. This has got HGs in it. It's got the HG 2879Cs. So those are pretty decent transistors right there. And you got this pair of 2290s right here, and that's where the 10 ohms look good on those. I'd pull them out and check them anyway. But from what you're telling me it was doing with two bad finals is probably about right, because when they get out of balance, they don't do power well. And then also with those combiner balancing resistors, 100 ohms that are burnt right there, that's probably what your trouble is. It's probably got two bad finals. So what I'll do is, I'll go ahead and lift the base and the collector on all those finals and just check them and make sure they're not more bad. But just initially looking it over, it looks like your two drivers are good, and it looks like you got two out of the six on the output section that are more than likely bad. I mean, like I say, almost always if those little 10 ohms from the base to ground are burnt, that means the final's bad. It has shorted, because they don't get any current across them unless there's a short to the collector on them. So just initially, that looks like what it is. You got a couple of bad transistors, and all these 100 ohms on these combiners need to be replaced. So, but I will pull them, and I'll just pull the pins on them and check them all just to make sure. And more than likely, I mean, you've got metal clads and micas across them. They do that because those things are hard to find in exactly the right size now. But these metal clad caps on the outputs on your final sections here, those almost never go bad. I mean, it's very, very rare to see one. And usually if it is bad, you can see some arcing inside of it, so I don't think those are bad. I think these are probably good. I'll lift them and check them all and make sure they're all good and within tolerance, they should be within a couple percent of each other. But, just without even checking anything, to me, man, that looks like what it is. So we'll get after it, and it might take me a few days to get everything. And I think I've got these. I know I don't have any of those finals, but I know where to get them. So we get those, and you can look them up online. I get those from ICA Manufacturing, ICAmanufacturing.com. So you can look up the prices on them. I will want to try to match these lot numbers on those. And let's see, those all look like, let's see what they are here. They're all 20D08s. So if we can, we'll try to get the 08 lot numbers on those. If I can't figure it out from their online stuff, I just call them up and tell them, hey, I got a box, got these. And when I pull the legs on the transistors, I'll check the beta gain on them so we can get something that matches pretty close. You know, we want them to be as balanced as possible in each section, at least anyway. And what I might do in that case is take one good final, take the bad one out of here, take the bad one out of here, and if the other one's good in that section, then I'll take that one and move it over there because it'll match closer on the beta gain, and just put the new ones in that little output section right there. And I've done that a lot, and that usually works pretty well. Anyhow, man, just from looking at it and taking a cover off of it, just gonna let you know what was going on and what was up with it. Just let me know if you got any questions on it, man. All right.